Hold your breath, we swinging it from right to left. With the wide cleft, be hot to death. Staying alive, you know only the strongest survive. Holding my heat.
The 2K Sports pregame show, presented by Sprite.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome. This is Ernie Johnson, joined by Shaquille O'Neal. So glad to have you with us on this Martin Luther King Jr. national holiday. In this game, we'll see the Atlanta Hawks going up against the Heat in Miami. A lot of W's recently for this Miami team. They've been on a tremendous run, and we're deep enough into the season now to know that it's no mirage. These guys...
And now, your Miami Heat starting lineup. At point, standing 6'2", number 30, Norris Cole. Number 1, Chris Bosh. And number 3, Dwyane Wade. At power forward, at 6'9" number 50, Big Dog. At the other forward position, standing 6'8", number 50, Jordan Coleman. Eric Spoelstra is your head coach.
Welcome to the NBA here on 2K Sports, a special Martin Luther King Day edition. I'm Kevin Harlan, alongside Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke reporting from the sidelines. The Hawks will kick off their road trip right here. These are the games that challenge you. Guys, they will have their work certainly cut out for them, but they believe they can come away with a win.
They're trying to get this long road trip off on the right foot with the win here. Well, the worst thing you can do is start a long trip with a loss. And you want to play well, obviously, but if you can get a victory right out of the gate, it can set the tone for the entire trip.
Looking at the starting five for the Atlanta Hawks. Millsap at power forward with Horford at center. Teague and Korver in the backcourt, and it's Carroll in at the 3 spot. Here is Korver. Really played well against Milwaukee his last outing. And that one's good. Millsap.
You know, he'll make you scratch your head and throw your hands up as a defender. I mean, you just don't know how to play it. Well, Paul Millsap has said he doesn't feel undersized anymore with the way the league is going. But more emphasis now on spreading the floor, so Millsap fits in easier. He can always find somebody to guard.
Outside Teague. Pass to Korver. Here's Carroll. He's coming off a 10-point game against Milwaukee. Korver, no luck.
Hey, the defense was right there, just waiting, doing a nice job of anticipating that play. Steve, every team needs tough interior defense to be successful. And he will take the ball right into the teeth of the defense.
And Atlanta has possession, following the score by Miami. First 1:30 gone here in the first quarter. Here's Horford. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Here's Cole, averaging 10 points per contest. Coleman, the pass to Big Guy. Good ball movement here by the Heat. The fader. And there's another one for the Heat.
Red hot right out of the gates. 4 for 4 shooting.
For Atlanta, they've gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. And the foul on Dwyane Wade. That's his first foul.
I like the call. I thought the defense was moving there. Yeah, I think he slid underneath. Good blocking call that trip.
And about 2 minutes played here in the first quarter. That's going to be over and back. Not watching for the line that time. Now Bosch, averaging 6 points per contest. Here's the prodigy. Takes it into the teeth of the knee and converts the layup. The prodigy's got 6 points.
5 of 5 to start the game, and it might be before they miss the way they're knocking these shots down. Boy, everything's pure.
Tipped away. Korver kicks to T and out of bounds as the Heat gain possession. Here now is the 2K leaderboard. Over the past month, these teams have tortured opponents defensively. Number 1, the Heat.
Yeah, what a month they've had defensively. They really get after it at that end of the floor.
So the Heat, their last game, a win against the Clippers in Los Angeles.
And I think, Kevin, it really showed how important it is to have a strong bench performance. You go out on the road, you can't rely on your starters night in and night out. The reserves have to contribute and help them out.
I think we definitely saw that, Steve, throughout the game. They were really tied together as a team. Didn't make any difference who was out on the floor. You'll take every road game win you can, and they're happy with that one.
And it's Miami's ball. They're on a 14-4 run right now.
Hawks coach Mike Budenholzer grew up around the game. His father coached high school and college basketball for 25 years, and Mike got into coaching pretty much immediately after graduating from college. Sounded like a guy who knew what he wanted to do.
What a start they've gotten off to. A big lead for them, and we're not even out of the first quarter yet.
And it's not just their hot offense here. I mean, they're playing very strong defense too, guys.
And now the first timeout called here for the Hawks. And Coach Budenholzer, two-sport athlete at Pomona, golf and basketball, also graduated with a triple major in, Steve, politics, philosophy, and economics. It sounds just like you at Arizona.
Similar, only different. But, shortly after college, Budenholzer actually took over as the video coordinator for the Spurs, and that's where his career took off. He ended up spending 19 seasons alongside Greg Popovich, winning 4 titles, and now here he is coaching the Atlanta Hawks.
Here's Cole. His last outing, he had 8 points. Here's the prodigy. And he takes it down.
I couldn't have dreamt of a much better start than what they've had here today.
Everything's worked, especially offensively, and what a lead they have already to show for it.
And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. T kicks to Corver. Into Horford. No good again that time. Miami leading by 14. Here's Big Dog, and he gets it to go. Big Dog's got 7 points.
3 consecutive baskets have come right at the rim. The defense had better start buckling down and tightening up.
Yeah, they're getting exposed right now.
Now here's Teague. He had 13 points in the win against Milwaukee.
I thought his rebounding was impressive as well. Guys, he made some big boards, really helped out on the glass, helped his team out big time.
Just 4 to shoot. Shoots. Can't nail the jumper.
He's one guy the defense is not afraid to leave open from that range, and for obvious reasons. Jeff Teague, one of the quickest and most elusive point guards in the NBA. He's incredible in transition, and where he's really improved is in the half court. He's figured out how to carve up defenses off the dribble.
Now here's Teague. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Feeds to Corver. The pass to Horford. Can't get it to go. The Heat go the other way with it. And Teague, a top-tier penetrator. A nice teardrop in the lane.
And he's an improved passer, too, Kevin. I like the confidence he's starting to play with now. Getting into the lane, he's elite when it comes to the assist-turnover ratio that point guards are measured by. And he continues to expand his offensive game as well. You know, for Dwayne Wade, he's an athlete who's grown accustomed to having his personal life and his public life intersect. And he's found a way to turn that into a positive, selling the rights to a sitcom based on his experiences as a player and a parent.
And the Hawks making a change here. Cephalosha's checked in. Pass to Kira. Right wing. Back to Millsap. And it's out of bounds. The Heat will take it the other way. And Wade, generous, sharing his experiences for sure. Steve, he even released a training app for smartphones last season.
You know, I used it, Kevin. I ended up dominating my old man league in San Diego. So I'm really grateful to Dwayne for his generosity.
Kent Bazemore is checked in for DeMarre Carroll.
They keep going down low with the ball, and it results in points. They're having their way in the paint.
And it's resulted in a big early lead, too.
The Hawks trail by 20. Now here's Teague. Right now averaging 7 points a game. Doubled by Bosch. Cephalosha dishes to Teague. Swiped it away. Jumps up. And he caps off the fast break with a monster slam.
Oh, man, they are just putting the hammer down right now.
Defensively and offensively. It has all been working for him today.
Miami shooting their first foul shot of the night. "17 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Knocks it loose. Oh, and a fast break for the Heat. Here's Big Dog. Wade passes to Coleman. Up in time. An absolutely remarkable shot at the buzzer.
Was it ever? It doesn't get any better than that, fellas. The definition of much in the clutch.
He wasn't going to let anyone else take that shot. He wanted that ball.
On tap this Saturday, January 24th, Tim Duncan and the San Antonio Spurs take on LaMarcus Aldridge and the Portland Trail Blazers. It's Western Conference action. Make sure to catch it.
And welcome back to our special presentation of the NBA for Martin Luther King Day. And let's get your guys' take now on the hustle stats for the Heat.
Fellas, the defensive pressure they've been applying has really been paying off. Turnovers and points.
And we're also seeing a lot of fast break hoops, so this team doing a nice job getting easy points.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. On the floor for Miami, Chalmers is out there with Jordan Crawford. Then there's Danny Granger. Then there's Josh McRoberts. And it's Anderson in at the center, filling out the middle.
Terrible transition defense there.
I think it would have been pointless, Steve. There was no way anybody was beating him to the basket there.
On, here we go. Crawford all alone. And the slam dunk by Granger.
You know, regardless of who starts the break, it seems like he's usually the one to finish it.
And that's because of how well he attacks the rim on the dead run.
Here's Mack. And here's the fast break. Chalmers leading the way. Deft touch on the alley-oop.
Soft touch on both ends of that pretty alley-oop.
You know, I got to say, Clark, when he threw the pass, I didn't know where it was going to go.
We saw it ended up right where it was supposed to, in the basket.
It sure did.
I don't think anybody knew where it was going to go.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Hi, Kevin. In the past, as you know, Chris Bosh tried to bulk up, but he's accepted his frame and his finesse game, saying, quote, "It's different now. The game is a lot faster. I don't bang anymore. It's not my strength, and I understand that." He's become more perimeter-oriented, and why not, Kevin? He said he realized that you do get one more point for threes. Gentlemen, over to you.
Perimeter shooting big men. Very much in demand, Doris. Thanks.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
Boy, the ball movement's been fantastic here the last few possessions.
Here's Mack, defended by Chalmers. And Mack kicks to Horford. And again, unable to change momentum here. And he's going up for the alley-oop. And it's Granger with the jam.
This is outrageous. Every shot they're taking right now seems to be finding the mark.
Literally every shot. They are absolutely rolling.
Here's Mack. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. And another fast break for Miami. Miami running. And good on the basket. Book it.
They've done a lot of good work with the ball. Really moving both the ball and moving bodies, getting quality chances at the hoop.
And they're not wasting chances when they get them. I mean, they're hitting their shots.
Here's Mack. In transition, here comes Miami. Crawford leading the charge.
Well, this is how you completely rattle an opponent's rhythm.
Yeah, you know, such terrific on-the-ball defense to trigger the transition opportunity.
And it wasn't just the tough D, it was the exclamation point they put on the fast break with the slam.
Fast break, here we go. And there's a nice one-handed slam.
Well, they're winning the speed game, guys, getting out in transition.
Boy, I like the energy they play with offensively, and in the open court, tremendous flow.
Here's Mack. There's the dish to Cephalosha. Here's Mack. Defended by Chalmers. Down to 5 on the shot clock. In transition, here comes Miami. And McRoberts kicks to Anderson. It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A 3-point play chance here.
Well, Danny Granger in his prime, a 25-point-per-game scorer and an all-star, but knee troubles have conspired to hold him back over the last couple of seasons. You know, still an effective role player, but just not the star that he once was.
Here's what Miami's going with right now. Chris Bosh is checked in for Anderson. Big Dog comes in for Josh McRoberts. Wade, he's checked in for Jordan Crawford. And Cole subbed in for Mario Chalmers. Coleman's checked in for Danny Granger. Got a piece of it. All by himself. Here's Coleman.
Oh, man, that was unreal. Mark it up.
Putting on a show for these people.
I cannot believe he pulled that one out in the course of an actual game. Are you kidding me?
Oh, man. Might as well flaunt it if you've got it, Clark.
Here's Mack. The Heat getting the bucket. Kicks to Korver. There's the feed to Mack. Clock at 6. Wade with it. Right now averaging 11 points a game. And the dunk by Bosh.
What an outstanding pass in transition for the easy two.
Here's Mack. To the paint, and they get it. Cephalosha misses.
They're losing their composure a little bit here on the bad end of a run.
Yeah, they are, and they need to come up with a rally-wrecking play here to stop this run. Good. He shot the ball exceptionally well as they've built this lead for themselves here.
A minute 42 left in the first half of the game. Here's Mack. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. And it's out of bounds to the Hawks as Atlanta retains possession. Well, the shooting guards you see listed there have been the ultra-reliable players for the past month. Take a look at their percentages from the field during that time. And you look at Wade, leading the league in field goal percentage. He always gets good looks. And, of course, Jordan Crawford. He's doing even better. He's another top 10 guy in the NBA. Such a talent. Here's Mack. 4 on the shot clock. And it's sent back by Bosh. And so it looks like the Hawks will retain possession here. And the Hawks will go for a different look here. Paul Millsap's checked in for Horford. Beasley comes in for Scott. Damari Carroll's checked in for Cephalosha. And it's Teague in for Shelvin Mack. And out of bounds as the Heat gain possession. Let's check out the Eastern Conference standings now that we're in the new year. Taking a look at Miami, earning the first place position with a terrific record. And we've seen them perform splendidly pretty much all season long so far, and they're definitely the team to beat. And, of course, the Hawks, they're much further down in the standings right now.
Seeing where the Hawks are, they've been about what we expected so far. Not dominant, kind of middle of the road, but certainly a team that you can't overlook.
Well, they're in that middle ground, so the question remains, how do they take that next step?
The Hawks have gone 0-4 in the second quarter. Obviously, that needs to change. 52 seconds left here in the second. Out of bounds. Miami takes possession.
It's still early on in the new basketball season for Atlanta. Here's where they sit in the NBA stats. 7th in blocks, 7th in opponent points per game, and they're in the top half of the league in fewest turnovers. When you can be in that company, you're giving yourself a chance to be a winning team.
And this is a team that on those blocks that you talked about, Clark, because when they're at their best, they're really challenging every shot. They cover up, they close out on jump shooters, and if you penetrate and get to the rim, they've got a host of shot blockers there waiting for you.
No good from Beasley. Miami's gotten both of their three-point attempts to go down here in the second quarter.
They're scoring well. They're really executing and building on this lead.
Gradually adding to the lead, I like it. I mean, they continue to work well offensively. They should be in good shape going forward.
There's 31 seconds left now here in the second. They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going. Now here's Teague, looking for his first basket still in this one. Beasley kicks to Korver. Just 5 on the clock. They get a hand on it, and so it looks like the Hawks will retain possession here.
3 seconds on the shot clock. 3.
And out of bounds as the Heat gain possession.
I tell you what, that's just a major unforced error right there, guys. My goodness.
Here's Big Dog. Pulls it up. What a play. Simply drains it in at the buzzer.
And an ideal finish to the quarter for them as he drains it at the buzzer.
Boy, I like the fact he didn't rush it at all. Fantastic shot.
And so a pretty lopsided game through the first half. Miami ahead, opening up a huge gap. We'll take a quick break, then get you back to the action. Welcome back to the 2K Sports broadcast of the NBA, celebrating Martin Luther King Day. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke.
No slowing him down, just some incredible numbers for the prodigy. 22 points, and the three-pointers have been dropping for him. He's got 3 of them.
Well, as long as he's continuing to make them, I think they should make him more of a focal point of this offense.
Here's Teague. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. And on the floor for Mike Budenholzer starting the second half. Millsap at power forward with Horford at center. On the wings, Korver and Carroll. And it's Teague in at the 1. Now here's Teague. 6 on the shot clock. Stolen away. And here we go. Fast break. Wade's got it.
I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen throughout. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively turning into quick points.
And that's not going to be able to continue if they hope to get back into this game, Clark. It's a deflating play for your morale.
That's good.
And he was one step ahead of the defense when he fired that pass for the assist.
Miami's gone along perfectly from three-point range tonight. They've gone 5 for 5.
Paul Millsap is one of the most versatile forwards in the game, a natural power forward, but he brings some small forward qualities as well. He's a heck of a player, and he's developed that three-point shot to round out his game.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Doris Burke. Hey, Doris.
Well, Kevin, the Miami Heat, top 2 in the league in offensive efficiency over the last 2 years. Coach Spoelstra has said they learned a lot from their 2011 finals loss, saying it was essential for us to utilize more movement, especially off the ball, and to move the ball more. Less isolation. We coined it pace and space. Guys, that hasn't changed.
Even without LeBron, Doris, they have personnel to score. Thanks. Here's T. After the made shot from Dwayne Wade. Carroll dishes to T. Shot clock at 5 and out of bounds as the Heat gain possession. And Millsap able to score facing up or with his back to the basket.
Yeah, inside and out. Reversible clothing is Paul Millsap, and he's a handful. Now, he's an undersized 4, but he can make the 3. He's physical. He can get to the line. He's got a number of crafty shots. This guy is really, really underrated as a player.
These 2K Blazers we wear, they're reversible. You didn't know that, did you? Huh?
Not until...
Look out, man!
Rim is shaking.
Everything's falling now, and this lead continues to increase.
Yeah, it's just way too hard to keep up with a scoring pace like this. I mean, and that's why the defense is having a tough time.
Another steal. And now Bosch running the floor all by himself.
Well, you can feel the confidence growing right now for this club at the offensive end.
Really an ideal time to have one of these runs after halftime, but before crunch time. They're setting themselves up for a great fourth quarter.
Teague left side, and as it goes out of bounds, Atlanta able to keep the ball here. Big bodies and soft hands, well, that's what these guys possess. The top assisting centers and power forwards this year. Take a look at Big Dog, an uncommonly gifted passer, leading the league in assists. And, of course, Chris Bosh. Horford the pass to Millsap. 6 to shoot. Korver kicks to Horford. The Hawks need to get off a shot here. And it's blocked by Bosh. And he recovers it. Here's Coleman. And he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
Oh, this is getting ridiculous. They can't possibly keep this run going much longer.
I tell you what, Steve, it's already lasted longer than I thought possible.
Hawks have gone 1 of 3 since starting the second half. That's tipped. Out of bounds, Atlanta will take possession.
That's a major mental mistake. I mean, there's no other way for me to describe it. He didn't know where he was on the court. That's a basic fundamental. You have to be alert to where you are.
Looking at who's out there now for the Hawks. Scotty's checked in for Millsap. Cephalosha comes in for Damari Carroll. And it's Kent Bazemore in for Kyle Korver. Teague dishes to Cephalosha. Passes it to Horford. Soft touch off the glass.
Excellent work offensively to get that shot attempt into a can't-miss area.
The Heat have gone a perfect 7 of 7 from the field here in the third, coming out of the break very hot. Big Dog. And again, Miami with the triple.
Boy, they've gone on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
Yeah, they have the defense on the run right now because every pass seems to have a purpose. They're getting great movement, great spacing, and they're really lining them up defensively.
Here's Coleman. And again, Miami with the triple.
That's been a great day for him, and if you remember, he gave them a huge performance their last time out as well.
For Atlanta, they've gone 2 of 4 here to start the second half.
You know, one thing you have to give Coach Erik Spoelstra credit for is he's not wedded to just one approach. I like his ability to be flexible. You remember after the 2011 finals, for example, he really went back to the drawing board and changed Miami's offense to their small ball approach, but also wanted to get LeBron inside more. The result has been a couple of championship rings. And what a tremendous game for Big Dog. He has 18 points, and he's hit the mark twice from three-point range as well.
Well, it's no secret. I mean, the more points he can come up with from out there, the better off they'll be offensively with their spacing.
You talk about Coach Spoelstra staying open to new ideas. He spent time in the summer studying football coaches and their techniques.
Yeah, kind of an interdisciplinary interest in greatness. And, you know, that's what goes into building a champion. Spoelstra, very intense and focused, always trying to find an edge, even if he has to kind of step outside the box a little bit.
Michael Beasley, he's checked in for Atlanta. And the Heat going with the whole new group on the floor. Here's Granger, and he goes strong with the one-handed jam.
And we're seeing the shots just dropping from everywhere right now.
Yeah, since halftime, Steve, they've been operating very efficiently.
There's 1:38 left to play in the third. Stolen by Granger. And now Chalmers running the floor all by himself. And finished off by Anderson.
That's exactly what you want coming off a steal. Get into transition, find an easy basket.
Yes, sir. The ideal fast break opportunity there.
The Hawks shooting a pretty pitiful 25% in this game. Offensively, they can't get anything going. Dishes it to Scott. Stolen by Anderson. And here come the Heat again. Miami with the fast break. Oh, and the jam by Granger.
Guys, that's simply superb. Ball pressure, a run out, and then a dunk in transition.
Exactly, Clark, what they wanted. The aggressive defense to lead to.
Yeah, points in transition.
That's why you want to make the other team feel uncomfortable handling the ball, because you can get easy points out of it at the other end.
No good from Beasley. Miami's gone off with a three-pointer tonight. They're a perfect 7 of 7. And again, Miami with the triple.
There's been a huge discrepancy between these teams and their effectiveness from the three-point line.
Then you really notice it at that end of the floor where they continue to get open looks and knock them down.
Chalmers against Teague. Scott with a screen on Crawford. Just 5 to shoot. Crawford with the steal. And here we go. Fast break. Crawford's got it.
And he just used his height that time down low. That's going to be pretty hard to defend against.
Here's Teague. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. He feeds it to Cephalosha. Scott with a screen on Granger. And Bazemore kicks to Cephalosha. He got the loose ball, but that will be a backcourt violation.
Man, a real mental lapse there at a terrible time.
Well, Steve, it would have been a big gaffe anytime, but especially when you're behind.
Out to the wing. Here's McRoberts. And, oh, he hits the buzzer beater.
Woo-hoo-hoo, Kevin. They're firing on all cylinders. That shot caps a nice run going into the final quarter.
And thanks for joining us again, folks. 2K Sports broadcasting here on MLK Day, bringing you the NBA. And how about a look now at our assist to the game? Brought to you by State Farm.
This was a showstopper, wasn't it? Just a difficult pass to make, and he makes it flawlessly to set up that alley-oop.
And it's the Heat with the ball. Following this one, they get to host the Pelicans. That'll be the second game of a 5-game homestand. We've got Jordan Crawford. Anderson is out there with Josh McRoberts. Then there's Chalmers. And it's Granger in at the small forward. That's the group on the floor for Miami.
Their interior defense has been dismal.
Yeah, and unfortunately, their offense in the paint hasn't been a whole lot better.
All right, well, look at how the points have been generated so far. A scoring breakdown for the Heat.
Anytime you get as many points in the paint as they have, you know you've got a good thing going, and you just want to keep it going.
And they continue to knock down the long-range three-point shot as well.
And the free throw, no good.
You know, there's been some debate over the idea of the quote-unquote hot hand. One study implied that it actually doesn't exist. I always felt as a player that, you know, as soon as I felt the ball go through the hoop a couple times, I was much more likely to make that next one.
Crawford with the steal. Lays it in off the breakaway. Here's Mack. Knocks it loose. Pushing it up. And finished off by Anderson.
What a smooth finish.
Well, he's certainly the one they want on the end of those breaks. He always finishes strong.
Here's Mack. 1 minute now into this fourth quarter. Well, that hot hand study, Clark, we were talking about a little bit earlier, they realized it didn't take into account how difficult the shots were. And, you know, hot players take those heat check shots.
Yeah, they do. They do. And not to mention, they draw more defensive attention once they get on the roll. So I think it comes back to common sense. You definitely try to get a hot player the ball, but above all else, you want quality shots.
And so it looks like the Hawks will retain possession here.
17 seconds on the shot clock. 17.
On defense, the Heat. Here in the fourth quarter, their defense has been very strong, allowing no baskets. Here's
that was awesome.
Look out below. About a minute and a half through the fourth quarter now. Ball's knocked loose and stolen by Chalmers. Here's Granger, and he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Now, you got to make a defensive adjustment here, Clark. Time to collapse inside, force the ball back out in the perimeter, make them beat you from long range.
And stolen by Chalmers. And here again, the Heat in transition. Up the court they go. And the basket good. And that's now 6 points for Crawford.
10 points in a row now coming on fast breaks. That's bad defense.
Yeah, and very well could lead to more fast break chances coming because of how poor they've been in that area of the game.
Bazemore passes to Beasley. And out of bounds as the Heat gain possession.
Boy, did they ever make a mess out of that one. A terrible turnover.
And a new group getting ready for Miami. Big Dog, he's checked in for Anderson. The prodigy comes in for Josh McRoberts. Luol Deng is checked in for Danny Granger. And Cole subbed in for Mario Chalmers. And a switch here also for Atlanta. Schroeder, he's checked in for Kent Bazemore.
Boy, they've come out of halftime just smoking hot from behind the arc.
Hey, trust me on this one, partner. They are going to continue to let them fly.
Beasley kicks to Payne, and out of bounds as the Heat gain possession.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
Fourth quarter keeps moving right along. 3 minutes gone so far. Here's Coleman, and down it goes, jamming that one home.
This is outrageous. Every shot they're taking right now seems to be finding the mark.
Literally every shot. They are absolutely rolling.
It's been a pretty tough stretch for them.
Well, this is a really critical possession here, Kevin. It's essential that they put a stop to this run.
Here's Crawford. Out of bounds, Atlanta will take possession.
Remains Hawks ball. 20 seconds on the shot clock. 20.
And for Atlanta, they come in off a good outing against Milwaukee. The steal, and now here comes Cole, leading the break. Ball going up court, and there's another one for the Heat.
I'll tell you what, a ton of their offense coming in transition. And if you got the legs for it, I think that's the best way to play the game.
No question. I mean, push the ball. If there's nothing there, you can always get into your half-court offense, but oftentimes you'll find the easiest shots early in that shot clock.
Here's Coleman, and he dumps it down.
Well, this is what he does. He's shooting it well. He's scoring a lot of their points, getting them in front.
And Atlanta has possession. Nothing doing offensively yet for them in the fourth. Here's Schroeder. Beasley dishes to Schroeder. He kicks it to Antic. Shot clock at 6. Shot from 12. But they'll get another chance. Pass to Mack. Poked away. In transition, here comes Miami.
Wow, that was unbelievable.
Look at that.
How about that?
Look at that. The Hawks have gone 0-3 to start the fourth quarter. To the inside. Rips down the breakaway slam.
And that puts a cherry on top, so to speak. What's been a phenomenal showing for them.
All over but the whining now, Steve.
And turnovers, Clark and Steve, have been the issue for them.
Yeah, it sure has been the case. I mean, turnovers are like missing breakfast. Eventually, it's going to cost you.
Oh, ridiculous.
Pour it down that time.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Heat.
They found a great rhythm from long range.
They sure did, Kevin. Every time they left the man open deep, he'd get a good look at the basket. And they didn't hesitate, and the aggressiveness paid off.
And this will be a big win for them. Lucky win number 13 now in the bag.
And you have to look back at this and see what a huge game it's been for the Prodigy. He was doing everything right, and the points seemed to come in bunches. He definitely had the hot hand.
And out of bounds as the Heat gain possession.
Where was he going with that pass? I mean, that's just an awful turnover.
Mike Scott's checked in for Payne. Crawford drives in. The rim-rattling two-handed jam.
They didn't take their time wrapping this game up. They pretty much did it in a hurry.
Yeah, they had a nice spurt to polish this one off.
There's 57 seconds left in the fourth. And another fast break for Miami. Miami running. The big dunk at the end of the break.
Just a little bit more for these fans to cheer about as they get ready to celebrate the win.
Well, they can already start to celebrate, Steve, and they should let their team hear it. They were good.
And Mack kicks to Scott. Doubled by Crawford. Scott the pass to Mack. Got a piece of it. There's 31 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Marvelous lead pass, and he throws it down.
You know, there are a lot of bigger power forwards than him in the NBA, but very few that rise up like he can.
They're really on their heels at this point.
Yeah, really at both ends of the floor. Nothing seems to be going their way.
Doubled by Crawford. Out of bounds, Atlanta takes possession. Now here's Beasley.
And I think this is going to be too much to overcome, Clark. What do you think?
All the sand in the hourglass is gone, and I agree with you.
Here's Cole. Coleman, the pass to Cole. Here's Coleman. He connects.
And he may be the guy to put this game even farther out of reach.
And so Miami takes this one by a big margin. They put on a show tonight, thoroughly controlling each end of the floor.
Hey, what more can you ask?
And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Chris, tell us a little bit about the philosophy behind your game and how this team works so well together.
Well, I mean, it's just energy and belief. It's the belief system. You know, we all work hard. I work extremely hard, and you know, when I can go out there and just play and don't think about it and play with energy, you know, good things happen.
Chris, congratulations. Kevin, over to you.
Doris, thank you. And for Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, and the rest of our great 2K Sports crew. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us as Jordan presents our player of the game, the Prodigy.